How old should you be before you have sex?
I think I had sex first when I was 16, and I know that it was risky back then. I knew that I could not, take care of myself were I to get pregnant or have things like that. So it was definitely risky. But I really
Why did you
caution
do
people.
it? Why did you do it at 16?
Because I wanted to. I was 16 and I was horny.
Really? Do you have sex with a bunch of different guys?
I don't think you, as a older, respected black man, has the right to ask me about my sex life. I think that's borderline perverted, and I need you to not ask me about my sex life.
But if you're promoting it, people are going to just assume that you are.
I'm not promoting anything.
And I don't want people to have the wrong perception of you. I have with me Feminista Jones, and Feminista Jones is a sex-positive black feminist from New York City. She is an award-winning writer, blogger, and a mental health social worker. She is currently the Love and Sex section editor of blogher.com, where she writes about feminism, race, and popular culture. She hosts a weekly sex-positive podcast, This Week in Blackness After Dark. Feminista, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And I want to talk to you about, you wrote a very interesting blog about sex on Salon. You say that safe sex is not only about maintaining physical safety and avoiding disease, infections, and pregnancy. We should enter into sexual relationships also feeling mentally and emotionally safe and confident. Explain all that to us.
Well, I think one of the most important things about having sexual agency and making the choice to engage in sex is being informed about that decision. And when we talk about being informed, it's just kind of being well aware of who you are, where you are in your life, and all of the decisions that you're making. But knowing that sex can lead to so many more significant outcomes, you kind of want to make sure that you're entering it completely safe. Your mind is where you want it to be, your spirit is where you want to be, and you're not having sex because you feel obligated or feel forced or anything, but that you're actively making this choice and you're thinking, this is going to be good for my overall health and well-being, mental, physical, spiritual, all of that.
How is having sex good for you mentally, physically, and your overall being? How is that good for you?
Well, I think the intimacy aspect of being that close to someone and connecting yourself with that someone. So if you're, in a heterosexual situation, you're literally like combining your bodies. And I think sometimes we don't even think about the significance of that. Like, especially for women, a lot of women that have sex with men, we are taking men into our physical beings. So there is an intimacy that is created there. And of course, you got the biological chemicals that are released that make you feel better. The enjoyment of it, the pleasure that comes from it, just improves your mood. It really can. When you're going into, like, I don't know about you, but when I have morning sex, my life is just, the whole day is just great. I walk down the street skipping and, it just kind of, it can improve your mood.
But it doesn't last, though. It doesn't last.
Oh, it can. It really can. And I think that it depends on who you're having it with. If it's somebody that you're in a relationship with that you care about, it definitely lingers on until the next time you have it. You can think back on it and have really great memories. I mean, there's so much that goes into that. And I just think that overall it just kind of lifts your mood and makes you feel good about being connected to someone.
Because you become addicted to a person once you have sex with them, should you wait until marriage before you have sex?
I don't necessarily agree that everybody gets addicted. I think the word addicted is a bit strong, and as someone who works in mental health and substance abuse, I tend to not use that word casually. I do think that some people form strong connections to people, and I think that in America, because not every person is allowed to legally be married to the person they want to have sex with, I don't know if we can put that limitation on that. I think that being in a committed relationship where there's love and things like that, I think that's probably ideal for most people, but I don't think that it's absolutely required.
So are you saying, no, you don't necessarily have to be married to have sex or should be married?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would never say that you have to be married to have, sex that can be beneficial to you.
Really? You said that most people in this country cannot legally be married, but you can. Every
No.
man and woman can get married before having sex.
Well, I didn't say most. I said not everyone can legally get married.
But they
and
can,
I
though.
do.
Why can't
Well,
they?
no. Well, women can't marry women in every state. There's 18 states we can do that in. Men can't marry men in every state.
But
so
that
there's
should not
18
be. I'm
states.
talking about normal people. Normal men and women can get married before having sex. Those people
Well, I
should
think-
not be allowed to get married because
Well,
that's
I'm gonna disagree with that.
abnormal.
So I'm going to disagree with that
Oh, you
because
do?
I don't consider, I'm not going to put the label of normal, and I'm not going to say that people that are homosexual are not normal. So I can't really like go down that particular train of thought, but I do believe in equality for all people, and I do believe that people have the right to engage, in sexual relationships with adult consenting people that they're attracted to. I'm not going to say that the only people that are normal are people that are men and women who are having sex with each other. I just can't say that.
Even though it's true, you still won't say it.
Well, no, I don't agree that it's true.
What is, I have noticed that once people have sex, and when I used to be into sex, I saw it happen to me too, is that if you're dating a woman and the moment you have sex with her, it changes the relationship. It changes the way you feel. It changes the way you see things. And that's what causes the addiction. And I think that's why you should wait until you get married, because under the umbrella of marriage, you can work it out. Whereas if you're not married, you're less likely to work it out.
Well, I think that there's a lot of evidence that marriages don't work out regardless. I mean, we have a divorce rate that is, over 50% right now.
Right.
So I think it's a little bit more than sex, and I don't think that marriage is going to help your so-called addiction to sex. I think what's important is that you have sex with people that you trust, that you feel safe with, and people that you respect. And I think that if those feelings are returned, if they respect you and trust you and they are committed to protecting you, I think you can avoid a lot of the negative things that go with it. So I think part of the main issue is that we don't have the conversations that we need to have with other people before we go into having sex. We're not thinking about the whole picture. Some people do rush into having sex too quickly, but I don't think that it's connected to whether or not you're married.
How old should you be before you have sex?
I think you should have sex when you are mentally, physically, and spiritually and financially ready to take care of the possible consequences of sex.
And what age is that?
So
What age is that?
that could be anything. I had sex first when I was 16, and I know that it was risky back then. I knew that I could not, take care of myself were I to get pregnant or have things like that. So it was definitely risky. But I really
Why did you
caution
do
people.
it? Why did you do it at 16?
Because I wanted to. I was 16 and I was horny.
Really?
I think we have to kind of be real with that. And I think that when we're talking with younger people and, teenagers and stuff, we have to acknowledge that they are, sexually aroused. They are curious. They are interested in things. And if we take the approach of don't have sex, that's exactly what they're going to do.
I highly recommend teenagers not having sex.
I do. I actually do.
You say in this article, you don't have to love someone to have sex, but you should, at the very least, respect your partners and yourself enough to make what goes on between you pleasurable and safe. How many partners should a person have sexually?
A person can have as many sexual partners as they want.
Really? But
yes,
once they do that, though, they become whores.
Well, according to you.
No,
but,
according to the truth. And no man wants to marry a whore.
Well, why are you speaking only about men? What about what women want?
And men are whore makers too, and no woman want a whore maker because they can never be trusted.
Well, I think that we have very different ideas on what a quote-unquote whore is. I think that
What's your definition of a whore?
I don't like to use the word. I think it's a word made up to make women look bad for enjoying sex.
No, it's made up to bring shame to women and men having sex with everybody and their mama.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think that we need to shame people for their sexual activity. I think that people need to be comfortable in having sex and enjoying it without feeling shame. Sex is an essential part of life. It really is. So why do we shame people for enjoying it?
Is sex love?
No.
Sex is not love. So you're saying just do it with however many people you want to just for the pleasure of it.
I'm saying that if you feel inclined to have sex with more than one person and it feels good and safe and right to you and you're an adult and you're making these decisions, yeah, you definitely can do that.
I may have asked you this, and forgive me if I'm repeating it. What is the purpose of sex?
I think that there's a number of purposes of sex. I think one of them is for some people to try and have children. I think for other people it is purely for physical enjoyment. I think for some it's creating intimacy and emotional closeness. For others it's a part of their marriage and something that they enjoy while they're married. And I think that sex has a lot of different purposes for different people. It's really up to the individual.
I want to go back to the word shame. The good thing about shame, it helps to contain us and prevent us in many cases from going out of control. But when you remove the word shame, then there's nothing to stop people from destroying themselves. Some people, because most people don't believe in God, or many don't, so they have no shame. We need the shame to be there. I personally remember when there was a sense of shame in the black community, during the good old days when boys were boys and men were men. And then the civil rights movement came along, the 60s came along, the fathers left their homes, and they removed the word shame, and now there is no respect between, for the most part, exceptions to the rule, of course, but there is no respect between men and women in the black community. You have 73% of black babies born out of wedlock. The average black man could give a hoot about the black woman. They take advantage of her because there is no shame anymore. So when you remove shame, your life goes out of control. Would you agree with that?
No.
You would not?
I don't agree with anything that you just said. I think that shame actually works in the opposite direction. We've seen it with the prohibition movements. We've seen it with all of the efforts that we've made to make things look bad. It makes them more appealing, and it makes people more likely to go and do them. And when we try to shame people out of behavior, what we end up having is people not only engaging in that exact behavior, but doing it in silence, more recklessly, and without the safety and protection that they could use if we did not make it a shameful
I totally
thing.
disagree with that. I disagree. Shame helps to control. Do you disagree with me that 73% of black babies are born out of wedlock?
No, I don't agree with that, but I think
But
that
that's
we have
true,
to look
though.
at,
Why don't you agree with it? It's a fact.
I didn't say that I disagreed. I said that I don't debate or I don't protest statistics and facts. What I do is I examine why those statistics and those facts exist, because what those statistics don't show is that a lot of those families live together. They are just not legally married. And part of why they don't get legally married is if you look at statistics related to social policy, it does not make a lot of financial sense for poor people to get married. So you have a lot of black families.
Because if they're married, they can't rely on the government. That doesn't make sense to me either. You don't want to rely on the government.
Well, no, you don't want to rely on the government.
But that's what they do when they're not married.
If you need assistance to help yourself get out of poverty that you were born into and had no choice to be born into, then I think you should be able to get some assistance in doing that. But going back to the idea about these black families, it's not always about the marriage. It's about families being together and working together to raise children. And I don't like the idea that you're saying that black men don't care about black women or their children. That is absolutely patently false.
No, it's absolutely true. The government is taking care of them.
But you're making a sweeping statement about all black men, and I will not allow you to do that, because if so, you'd have to include
I didn't say all. I said not all, not all, but most.
No, you said.
Well, let me clear it up. Not all, not all. I said exceptions to the rule. But not all, but most. The average black man can care. There are some good black men who do care about black women, but the average black man do not like black women because their attitudes, they have no sense of shame anymore. They are controlling, so they're just having sex with them
Jesse,
in many
cases. Do you realize that 88% of married black men have black wives? Do you realize that? Of all black men that are married, 88% of them are married to black women.
And your point is what?
Your idea that the average black man doesn't like black women is absolutely wrong.
Then why are they making all these babies with them out of wedlock?
They're not making all these babies.
73% of them.
Well, I think that, emulating black Americans is actually a beautiful thing, because I'm actually happy and love to be black. But I don't
black
think
Americans, most of them are immoral. Why would you want to emulate that and live in the ghettos?
Because because if you're going to sit there and say that most black Americans are immoral, then we can end this conversation, because I will never sell out my people and I will never denigrate them on a radio show. I love being black. I am proud to be black. I think that black Americans are the most enduring people, considering everything that our ancestors have endured, and I think that we work really hard within our communities. I think we work really hard within our communities to try and keep our family structures together. I think that the narrative
but they're not together, though.
But they are. And
then why do you have so much violence? I want to talk about your sex and your feminist stuff, but if black people were so strong and so enduring and so good, you wouldn't have black violence as you see now. You wouldn't have gangs in the black community. You wouldn't have ghettos.
Why do you have
You
white
wouldn't have ghettos. You wouldn't have the anger that you have.
White, rural,
so most black people are deceiving themselves. It's not true what you're saying. Are you a feminist?
I am.
And
Very
what
much so.
define feminist for me?
A feminist is someone who believes in equality, in social equality, political equality, and economic equality between the sexes.
Have you always been a feminist, or did you become one?
I think I've always believed in that. I just didn't have a name for it when I was younger and hadn't really read a lot. But when I came to realize what feminism was, I realized I was speaking about how I felt.
I noticed that since this country has allowed feminists to come into existence and into power, they have done nothing good for the country. And that they hate men, they hate the family, they hate the unborn child, they accept everything that's evil, and they hate anything that's good. And now that they are in, many of them are in a powerful position or authority position, they're spreading their evil throughout the earth. Should we have allowed feminists to come to the forefront as we have allowed?
Well, I think that entire description is completely false. I am a feminist who, got married, had a son. I love my child. I love my husband. I love what I do at work. I love my family. I support things like, women being able to vote, women being able to drive their own cars, women being able to have credit cards, all those things that, feminism
Okay, let me give you examples of what I mean.
So,
maybe you don't know what I mean. Feminists,
maybe I don't.
Feminists support homosexuality. They support same-sex marriage. Do you support same-sex marriage?
Some feminists do, and I absolutely do.
Okay, that's not good for society. It's not good for the family. It's not good for the country. How about abortion? Feminists, National Organization of Women Who Hate Men, and others like them, they support abortion. Do you support abortion?
I wouldn't call feminists people who hate men, and I do support a woman's right to choose what she's going to do with her body.
So that's yes, that you support abortion? Mm-hmm. You support abortion?
If that's the choice that women want, I support abortion being legal. I don't support abortion just because I love abortion. I support it being legal and being an option for women.
You don't believe that an unborn child deserves a chance to live?
I believe that women have the right to make their own reproductive decisions.
Who did God give them that right? Who gave them that right to kill a child in the womb?
I don't think that we need to even consider that the religious aspect of that. These women are making these decisions for their bodies.
But who gave them that right? You said they have a right to do this, to kill an unborn child. Who gave them that right?
Autonomy.
Who gave them that right?
They have their own right. They take that right.
Where did they get it from, though? It came from somewhere. Where did it come from?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a good answer, honest answer. Do you believe in God?
I believe in God, yes.
And do you think God will support the evil that you support?
I don't support evil.
Abortion is evil. Same-sex marriage is evil.
I disagree with
sin.
Both of that.
How about sin? Would you accept? Do you believe God supports sin?
I don't think either of those are sin.
Oh, okay. Do you have sex with a bunch of different guys?
I don't think you, as a older, respected black man, has the right to ask me about my sex life. I think that's borderline perverted, and I need you to not ask me about my sex life.
But if you're promoting it, people are going to just assume that you are.
Anything,
and I don't want people to have the wrong perception of you.
You have crossed a line asking me about my personal sex life.
You said you had a child out of.
Did
you have a child out of wedlock?
No, I was married when my son was born.
I have a text from you from AC of wavesofgray.com. Would she agree that most people who aren't married do not have sexual relations without emotional instability and some lasting issues? most are not having sex the way she says that we should. Shouldn't she make sure that sex maturity in America get under control before she promotes sex in the way that she does it?
I'm not promoting sex.
But by telling people just do what you want, have your pleasure, have as many partners as you want, it's just okay.
It's not promoting.
What are you promoting?
I'm telling people to make decisions that are best for their own lives.
But you are in a position of encouragement or authority, so a lot of people are going to believe you, and they're going to fall for it. And so many people are suffering because of sex. They're just out there going crazy with it, and they're suffering. So because you're in a position to encourage people to do it, you are having that influence.
Well, then, I don't think that I am encouraging people to do anything other than assess what is right and good for themselves and act on that safely. That's what I'm telling people to do. And if that ends up being that people decide that they want to have sex and they want to enjoy it and they want to take precautions and make sure that they're safe, then that's fine. I'm not here promoting sex. That is not my job. I don't promote sex. I don't sell the idea of sex. I talk about having safe sex. I talk about having sex in ways that will reduce the harm that sex can have to people.
I want to go quickly back to the phone. We're running out of time, but you do agree that having sex with many different people raise the risk of disease, though, right? You do agree to that.
I agree that having unprotected sex with a lot of people raises the risk of disease, yes.
Let's go to Chelsea, Michigan, and talk to Tony. Tony, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, Feminist, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I can't wait till you get out here to Detroit, come out this way. and it's a whole lot of people. They would love you out here, too. And, I'm a conservative, but still, I like your fire. But I know, the reason why I called in is because I know you just told Jesse that he stepped over the line. And I can understand that, and I understand where you're coming from. No, I did not
step over the line. If she's promoted something, it has to be something that she believes in, and she believes that it's okay to have sex with as many people as you want. So naturally, you're going to think she's doing it too, and I want to clear that up.
Right. I understand that, but I'm saying, she said you stepped over. I didn't feel as though it was stepping over the line, only because I seen a YouTube video where she is showing. It's all about, I would just say the word sodomy and how for women to be more comfortable with it.
Who's showing that?
Actually, I make it very clear in the video that I don't do it, and I'm trying to tell people how to do it safely if they do it.
Right, I understand that. So what I'm saying is, but when you have videos like that, I think, especially when you come on a program like this, you should be open and be more comfortable and be open to whatever the
I am, and I do. But I also think that because of what I do have the right to kind of establish some boundaries. And one of the things that people that have been following me for a long time know is that I don't really speak specifically about what I do.
So
because
are you promoting
the line that I draw?
Are you promoting something that you don't even believe in or do yourself?
Actually, I wasn't promoting. If you watch the video, I'm not promoting it. Like I said a few minutes ago, what I do is try to get people to think about and be safe with what they do. So all of my writing, all of my videos, everything is like, if you are going to do this, here are some ways that you can go about doing it.
So one thing you said that was a little surprising to me is that, and Tony from Michigan made the point, is that you're promoting sodomy and you're telling these folks how to have sex with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. But when I ask, are you having sex with more than one man, you felt ashamed about that. And said
I didn't feel ashamed at all.
But it seemed hypocritical.
I just didn't feel like signifying the question with an answer.
I know, but it seemed hypocritical that you don't want to say that you're doing these things, but yet you promote these things.
Well, I don't promote them. So that's the thing. You keep using the word promote. I disagree with the word promote. So as long as we disagree on that, there's really no follow-up to that.
But what did you mean when you said that I'm a young, older, respectable man, and I shouldn't ask you if you're having sex with more than one man?
Because I don't think that it's your place to ask a woman what she is doing
But
with
this
her
woman
sex
is-
life unless she is your woman.
But this
it's
woman is
none of your
promoting
concern.
it. This woman is promoting it, so I have a right
So
to ask.
again, you're talking about promoting. We disagree with that. Unless that is the woman that you are involved with, you really don't need to ask questions
I
about what she's
disagree
doing
with
with her
that.
sex life.
If they're promoting something, I do have a right to ask if you're doing it too.